Hello and welcome back to Omni Talk. It is July 13th, 2018. We are excited to be with you today. We've been trying a few different things over the past few weeks, but we're excited to get back to our roots, back to the signature, candid, and humorous style that we know you all appreciate so much. So we're going to get back to what we do best, and that's the Fast Five. And so let's get right to it. Now, every week, it seems like Amazon and Walmart always are making the headlines. So again, they're in this, but we're going to push them to the end. We're going to put them as stories number 4 and 5 because, honestly, we hear about them a lot. And instead, we're going to start with something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is omnichannel evolution. If you didn't hear it this week, Fabletics announced that they're going to open 75 new stores. Now, if you're a loyal and faithful follower of OmniTalk, you're very cognizant of who Fabletics is. On the surface, they're just another athleisure company. But look below the surface, and if you follow them or heard their CEO, Adam Goldenberg, talk at trade shows this past year, you see that they're on to something very new and different. 75 stores when the rest of the world is shutting down physical locations, that's something to take note of. Why? Well, back in December, I named Adam Goldenberg the freshman that seniors in high school most likely want to date because this guy gets it. He understands that a sales floor is a panoply for data. Or said another way, that our sales floors in physical stores can be turned into the analytical equivalent of web commerce browsers. The best example of it, how he thinks about his fitting rooms. He wants to understand that if a customer goes into a fitting room, he wants to understand what he or she buys, but also what he or she doesn't buy and why. That way, he can know how to best tailor his assortment over time and how to best tailor in-store experiences to better captivate his customers when they come in to shop. That data is there, and he's thinking about how to create it and harness it and capture it as he's doing his store development. All right, number 2, Home Depot. Love this one as well. If you followed us again, you know I've been long on Home Depot for some time. Look around the country, and they have fleets and fleets of flatbed trucks going through complicated logistics products to deliver 2x4s and drywall and all this stuff I know nothing about. But they announced on Monday that they are now entering the home decor business. So things like furniture, bedding, bath, tabletop decor, things of that nature. This is important. They already have a strong foothold in home remodels and new home builds. Totally makes sense that if you're in the psychology of refurnishing your home or refurbishing your home, you might as well use Home Depot not just for 2x4s, but some of this other product as well. And Home Depot has best-in-class omni-channel capabilities when you think about it from a pickup in store standpoint. Now, right now, we don't know how much this is going to be a play in store. Right now, it seems like it's going to be mostly an online play. But if this starts to come into store, it's going to be really interesting to watch. Does Home Depot bring this into their stores currently? Or do they look at all the abandoned real estate and strip malls and try to create something unique that runs alongside Home Depot, but also caters to this mindset? I, for one, am going to be fascinated to watch how this plays out. Okay, number 3, Kroger has announced that they are starting their own fashion clothing line. They're going to convert all of their private label product into this new clothing line that they call DIP. Yes, you heard that right. It is the 3-letter word DIP. It's the brainchild of fashion designer Joe Mimran, formerly of Club Monaco. Now, Mr. Mimran has had similar success with a similar idea up in Canada for Loblaws, for a product line he called Joe Fresh. At first, when I first read this story, I kind of thought it was like the name connotes. It was kind of dippy. But then I sat back and I thought about it a little more. Okay, what do we know? What are the trends? What's happening macroeconomically? Well, it's getting harder and harder every day for specialty apparel retailers to do business. Traffic to malls continues to decline. And yet, people are still going to need dependable, basics, quality, fashion merchandise. And so there's a lot of market share to be grabbed if different retailers think about this in the right way. And the other great thing about Kroger is they're a grocery business. So despite all that's happening from a traffic perspective out there in the world, Kroger still, for the most part, can garner that trip. It can still be a very convenient part of people's lives. So it makes sense that you would offer Kroger's customers something in the fashion line of basic apparel that they can depend on and come to and count on while they're there shopping. Now, if it works, it's great margin. And also, it's just a first step in what could be a larger expanded product offering along similar lines, all playing to this idea of the one-stop shop for convenience, when ultimately the most important question that any retailer is going to have to answer in the future is, Why am I coming to your physical place to shop? And the answer to that question is going to be shrouded in the economy of time and how do you make it convenient for people and desirable for them to go to you as a given retailer. All right, 4 and 5, like I said, let's start with Amazon, finish with Walmart. Amazon, this is probably my favorite announcement. Amazon has announced a partnership with Snapchat around visual search. Now, again, follow OmniTalk, and you can see a video about this very concept on our OmniTalk YouTube page. Visual search has the potential to make our mobile phones the remote control for the physical exploration of the world. Meaning, see something I like in the world, pair of shoes, pair of pants, a jacket somebody's wearing, I can take a picture of it and I can immediately buy it right then and there in the world. Well, Amazon is working with Snapchat to make that user interface happen within the Snapchat app. I love that, and I also love it for another reason. We've talked about the idea of social commerce on the one hand, or social networks on the one hand, and commerce on the other hand. Facebook on the one side, Amazon on the other. Okay? Amazon has tried to get to social. They've tried to do it by way of Spark, but they haven't had a lot of success. Facebook, 2 billion users, trying to get into commerce. It's a race. We're going to see who wins. What does this signal in terms of, hey, we're starting a relationship, us, here at Snapchat and Amazon. Where does this go? Snapchat hasn't been doing so well financially, so this one, for me, is going to be exciting to watch. All right, number 5. I've been pretty tough on Walmart over the past few months, but recently, I've actually lauded them quite a bit, and I'm going to do it again. I lauded them just recently with an article I had on Forbes about their new hire of Valerie Casey, and this one I like as well. This announcement this week was about adding convenience stores. Similar to Kroger, when I first read it, I was like, what the heck are you doing, Walmart? I don't get this. How does this utilizing your assets? But then I stopped and thought about it. What's happening again from a macroeconomic perspective? Well, less and less people are going to stores, which means you don't need your parking lots to be as big as they are. All right, and how are you going to make people's lives convenient? Well, people still need gas, and they probably still need convenient products. So why not offer that in the real estate that you have, get a better return on your investment, and over time, that should pay dividends. Now, of course, you got to watch out for how Amazon's entering the convenience store space, but there's still a lot to be done there, and a lot will happen over time. But for the time being, this makes a ton of sense. All right, that closes us up for this week. Thanks as always. There was so many stories to get to this week that Ann and I are going to break them down even further in the Fast 5. Carter's on vacation. He returns next week. Of course, as always, be careful out there.